whether one of their scholars refutes them or doesn't refute them. It does not alter the haqq that we were upon to begin with. Even if he did not refute them for the next 20 years, does that mean we were wrong? It doesn't mean we were wrong. Why? Because we were, walillahi alhamd, guided by the evidences that were made clear, and by that which Ahlul Ilm saw from them, the scholars. For the last 15, nearly 20 years, how many scholars, scholar after scholar after scholar, has spoken about their Ikhwani manhaj and their political siyasi manhaj. And that, there's a saying that the kuffar they have, they say, if you live by the sword, you will die by the sword. You heard the saying? And I'll give you an example of this. That Egypt is an example. Egypt is an example. They initiated demonstrations to remove the government. So they were in for 18 months. Then another group of people initiated another demonstration and removed them. What did they say? Haram to remove us. So the first time round it wasn't haram. When it happened to you, it becomes haram. Why? Because these types of individuals, their principles are transitory, meaning that one day they have a principle, the next day they say, principle? What principle? We never had a principle. We just did it because there was maslahah. So, but now there is no maslahah anymore, so you can't do it to us even though we did it to you. This is the way of those people in our city now, that they have turned against each other. Right? But we know that this is an internal rebellion. It is not based upon the Kitab and the Sunnah. It is not based upon guidance from the way of the Salaf. This is an internal revolution between two parties that are struggling with each other. The only difference between them is that one is willing to go even further than the other. All of them agree with cooperation and praising and giving thana and making ta'awun with Ahlul Bid'ah. All parties. The rebelled and the ones rebelled against. All of them have this qa'idah of Hassan al-Banna. That we will cooperate with Ahlul Bid'ah. We will put our votes into democratic elections. That we will enter into all types of deviations with the people of Bid'ah. They will not take a position against those people that the scholars have established the proof. All of them are upon this same Bid'ah. Except that one group within them is more extreme in who they will cooperate with. So a group of them will go as far as cooperating clearly with even open, clear grave worshippers. Clear grave worshippers. Another group will say, no. We won't go that far. We'll cooperate with Deobandis and Ikhwanīs and Tablighis and, people of democracy and so on, but we won't cooperate with the Shia. So it's only a level of extremism. How far are they willing to go upon the path of bid'ah? So one group went too far that the other group didn't accept. But the principle is the same. They are still upon the same principles of misguidance. In all of this speech, one thing you don't hear from them is what? This masjid here. You look at all of the pages and blogs and stuff that's going out from them, and they're infighting between each other. One of them going to one group of sheikhs and another one going to another group of their own sheikhs, and this one going to this Urdu speaker and that one going to that Urdu speaker, because they're not really concerned with evidences. They're just concerned with who can we convince to join us. But in none of this they're talking about, 20 years ago we did this, and 15 years ago we did that, and 2005 we did this, and 2007 we did that, and these are the Salafis in Birmingham, and so on and so forth. Any mention of Masjid Salafi? No mention of this masjid. No mention of our da'wah. As if trying to give an impression that Salafiyah only sits over there. Right? And this is a problem, between the Salafis, and we are the only, that they claim them to themselves, that you would imagine the outsider reading would think to himself, well, who are the Salafis in Birmingham then? If they're not you, then who are they? So, after 20 years or so, let's say 15 years, since this affair has become clear to the masses, for 15 years or so, that it is this masjid here, from 2001 till now. And before that, of course, even before we had this masjid, because we were at Munn Street. We used to have an Islamic center on Munn Street from 1997 or 98. Before that, we still had a da'wah in this city, reaching right back to 1994 and 95. And before that, even there was da'wah, but it wasn't in our hands. Nevertheless, that from that time till this time, that all of this period of time that we have stuck with the scholars, stuck with the evidences, people have come, people have gone. And the manner in which our da'wah has been established in this masjid for all of this period of time, upon clarity. Some people would sit here and they would grunt and they would grumble. Why are these people speaking about them? You know, look, they have scholars that go to them, they have sheikhs that go over there. Why does Abu Khadījah keep going on about them? Wallahi, it's only personal. Personal, so what is it now then? Now it's personal or what? What is it now? When they are now infighting, and they are going to the very same scholars that were praising them. And those very same sheikhs of theirs are now criticizing them. And they were the very same sheikhs that they went to and they said, Maktaba Salafiyya and Masjid al-Salafi is criticizing that group. So that sheikh will say, no, you can't criticize them. They're good. So the problem must be with Maktaba Salafiyya. So they set up websites, whole websites for years, just focusing their enmity upon this Salafi Masjid and upon Maktaba Salafiyya. Now things have come full circle, complete full circle. And now you find them absolutely annihilating each other. 30, 40 page PDFs, 20 page articles, each side attacking the other. Anonymous names, all of them, most of them unnamed. So they set up their blogs and they set up their sites and no one knows who's setting it up. You listen to the lecture, you listen to the Q&As, all in Urdu. Alright, that's all, it's all in Urdu. So now even the Arabs, they can't access it. Right, and a person who's Somalis can't access it. Then why? Because their da'wah in reality has always been restricted in that direction. Indo-Pak da'wah. With the Indo-Pak political, you know, the same politics that they've been playing over there in Pakistan and India, all they've done is exported it into this country. And walillahi alhamd, Sheikh Rabi', 1997, when we were sitting in his house, 1997, we sat in the house of Sheikh Rabi'. Sheikh Rabi' used to live in Medina then, and Sheikh Rabi' criticized Suhaib Hassan, who was the leader of the Jam'iyyah in that time. Sheikh Muqbil in 1998. Sheikh Muhammad ibn Hadi, right back from 1996, was speaking against them. Sheikh Muhammad al-Anjari from 1996. So all of those scholars were ignored. Sheikh Ubaid al-Jabari, later on, late 90s, 2000s, and all the way through, Sheikh Ubaid has been criticizing them. Abdullah Bukhari, criticizing them for their manhaj, criticizing them for their speakers that they invite. For all of these years, but that didn't make any difference to anybody. Did it, really? Because they ignored them. Who cares what Sheikh Al-Anjari says? Who cares what Muhammad ibn Hadi says? Who cares what Sheikh Rabi' said? Who cares what, Sheikh Muqbil said? Who cares what Sheikh Ubaid al-Jabari said? It doesn't matter. Didn't matter to them in the least. Now all of a sudden, someone that they respect and they honor has spoken against them. Now it must be the truth. So what was it before then? Batil? So when all of those scholars they spoke, it was upon batil. In fact, they used to write on their websites, Sheikh Muqbil is wrong, he didn't know what he was talking about. He didn't know. He was lied to. Okay, he was lied to. Sheikh Rabi' doesn't know what he's talking about. Sheikh Rabi' was lied to. Okay, Sheikh Rabi' was lied to. Muhammad ibn Hadi, 4 or 5 times he came to the UK, but it doesn't matter, he was lied to also. Sheikh Abdul Salam, rahimahullah, Barjis, because he also criticized them. He was also lied to. Sheikh Ubaid was lied to. So all of them were lied to as they promoted and they published and they put it on YouTube and they said Fulan and Fulan speaks against Maktaba Salafiyya and we are the defenders of this Jam'iyyah that we are with. So all of them were upon falsehood. 5 days ago, someone speaks, one man speaks, and all of a sudden, oh yes, it must be the haqq now then. So it was batil before. So where's our apology? Where's the apology then? Where is the, we seek your forgiveness, Maktaba Salafiyya, because you are upon the haqq in this affair. We recant from every statement that we made against you in this affair. We ask your forgiveness and we will now, just with the same amount of vigor and energy for the last 10 to 15 years that we've been attacking you and attacking personalities amongst you and attacking the students of knowledge and attacking Sheikh Al-Anjari and Muhammad ibn Hadi and all of the rest of the scholars that they've been speaking ill of. So now with the same vigor, put out a defense. Will you see it from them? Don't hold your breath. You'll go blue and die. Because they won't do it. And Allah knows best. Why? Because there's no sincerity in them. If there was sincerity from the first day, and from the first phone calls that they made, and from the first recordings and the questions and answers that they put down, they would have said, Shaykhana, Maktaba Salafiyya was actually upon the haqq in this affair. That's what they would have done from the get-go. But they didn't do it. Why? Because there's no sincerity and there's no sidq. All there is treachery upon more treachery. All it is internal power struggles and political machinations that are running within that organization. There's no clarity upon the haqq, and there won't be. They may change one regime for another regime, but you'll find the underlying current will still be the same. Bid'ah, politics, misguidance, as it's been for the last 20. It's a rotten ship that is rotten from the inside, and it is sinking. And now you see, the first creatures to jump off a ship when the ship is sinking are the rats that are hiding in the, between the rafters of a ship. And the rats normally survive. Why? Because they're resilient. They may be vermin, but they are resilient vermin. So now the ship is sinking. Now you see them jumping off like rats off the sinking ship. Because there is no sincerity with those people. In all of these days I've been watching and listening. What is going to come out from them? No apology. No recognition that we were upon the haqq for 15 years and you were upon batil for 15 years. 20 years in fact. No apology even to Sheikh Muqbil. Actually Sheikh Muqbil was right. Sheikh Rabi was right. Actually Sheikh Ubaid al-Jabri was right. When he spoke against them and did the recording. And he advised the people, don't go there. Don't sit with them. Where's the recognition? You don't want to apologize to the scholars? You don't even want to say, oh, brothers, Sheikh Ubaid was right. Sheikh Rabi was right. Muhammad ibn Hadi was right. Ahmed Subai was right. Muhammad al-Anjari was right. You don't want to say that? It shows that you don't have sincerity even towards the scholars. You don't have sincerity towards the Salafi ulama. Because sincerity necessitates that you rectify your mistake and you rectify your errors. But you will not find it, ya ikhwan. You won't find it. Because this is just another smoke screen. Oh Shaykh, we are the Salafis and we want to remove these misguided administration. No. You are as misguided as they are. Maybe slightly less misguided, but nevertheless misguided. Barakallahu feekum. So don't be deceived. Am I happy? Yes, I'm happy. At the fact that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has exposed them for the lying, deceiving, treacherous souls that they are. For that I am happy. Why? Because now the simpleton, the one who was scared away from this masjid, now he may think to himself, well actually, those brothers may be right. Let us go and sit in their durus. Let's go and, from that sense, maybe some of them will be salvaged. So in that sense, I am happy. I am happy that, to a certain degree, that may be some innocent simpletons, that they may be guided by way of this, by this affair that has befallen them. جزاكم الله خيرا والحمد لله رب العالمين وصلى الله على نبينا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم.